So this is going to be a continuation from the first video of logging workouts. Now let's say I didn't actually do anything on Monday. So let's go back. We're going to adjust Monday's workout. I didn't actually do any running here. So all this data will just kind of go away. Okay. And I'm going to delete all my comments. I'm going to save and close it. All right. So notice it goes back to red here. So this is where we're going to assume that we started. Let's say on Monday we didn't do any work. Okay, if I leave that in here, notice my total running distance is now down to 28.9, and my run distance I was programmed to do is supposed to be 35. So, what I would like us to do is if you didn't do any running on that day, leave the workout in there, but then let's go ahead and do day off. So we'll put it in there. Our planned, we didn't have a planned 0, but we completed 0. So at least we can log this, that we didn't do anything that day. I did not run, okay? So we can log that in there. All right, notice now I actually created an additional workout here, all right? So let's say actually we're going to try to modify some of the other things here. Again, I already showed you that if you didn't actually do the full distance of a workout here, like this yellow one right here, we put in the duration of 2 instead of a distance of 2 instead of a distance of 3, it'll highlight this as yellow, okay? But what if I actually felt really bad and I went out in the evening and I ran another mile? Well, I could add a workout here, hit run. So again, I'm going to go in, and you see how this plus sign comes up under the workout. I can hit run. And then let's say I went and ran a mile. I ran it in 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Of course, notice that's going to put it in as hours. So sometimes if you're only dealing with single digit for your time, you might actually go 0, then 6 minutes, then 45 seconds. It looks a little weird, I know, but it'll actually put it in as 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Then again, you can write in your description of the workout and hit save and close. Now that'll come in. Notice it comes in just as gray because it wasn't a planned workout. So it's just going to leave it in there as gray, because it's not something that you updated from a planned workout, okay? I could also add other workouts. Let's say I didn't do the mile. Let's say I only did a 2-mile run here, but I went on the elliptical because I was having some pain or something like that. So what I could do here is type in cross-train, custom, other. It doesn't really matter to me, but let's say I went on the elliptical, I could call it cross-training. I didn't have anything planned. This was not a scheduled workout, but let's say I wanted the elliptical for 20 minutes. So I just enter in my 20 minutes here. I could even title it 20 minutes on elliptical. I write a description. My knee started to hurt, so I finished early and started to do the elliptical. Okay, my knee started to hurt on the run. Okay, and so that'll be in there. That's another thing I could do, okay? If I have a race event, let's say I was racing on Sunday instead of having a day off. So I could come in here and select an event because it's an event, okay? Let's say I ran a 3,200 meter time trial. So I'm going to put in here 3,200 meter time trial. Type of event, I did it on the track, so I'm going to call it track running under event type. Okay. Let's say I had a goal of, I can enter in my time, distance, place, goal, whatever, I could put that in. I could put in the results. I was a 2-mile race, so that's kilometers, so I can go under here and go from miles to kilometers. 3,200 meters is 3.2 kilometers. And it took me 10 minutes and 13 seconds, okay? And I could write a description here, post comments, etc. So this is what a week would look like. Again, we've gone through. Again, let's say I didn't do my run on Wednesday because I'm a slap. I didn't have any time here. Put 0 for miles. I can delete that. Didn't obviously burn any calories. We didn't do anything. Save and close. And this will revert back to red, indicating I didn't do my workout, okay? If that's the case, I'd like you to go ahead and click the box here, go under day off, and put your completed duration of 0 and said, I did not run. I'm not motivated. I want to finish poorly this season. Okay, So that's basically what I'd be saying there, all right? Okay, good. That's kind of how we would fill this out. It's not a very difficult process. Now, as you'll start noticing, there are other things you can start looking at, like your home page. You can enter in different things. Now, again, it's going to bring up the time trial that's today that you would have ran. Okay, you can track your goals as what you want to do. Stay on track by adding training goals, etc. If I wanted to add a training goal, I could say, example here would be, as it says, enter goal here, example, do 2 core sessions. I could say, do not miss a workout. Okay, and then I click on that, and I add that as a goal, or it adds as a goal, okay? And I hit save and close. I select a date. Well, maybe I want to start that today. So I save and close there. I've added a goal, okay? There are other things I could put on this page here if I want to go through and edit those later. Now my dashboard will give me all sorts of different metrics, most of which you guys won't look at that much, but it'll show you kind of different things, you know, the fitness, the completed distance, planned duration. That means basically I did 100% of the workout I was supposed to do. My planned distance was 38. Well, I guess it doesn't show that quite, but you get the idea. There's all the sorts of stuff here. What that's showing is that it's 100% run. But if I have fitness summary planned duration, it shows 100% of it was running. My planned distance was 38. My completed distance was 24.9. My planned duration was 30 minutes. My completed duration was 2 hours and 34 minutes and 1 second, because we base things more on mileage than we do on duration. All right. ATP, that's an annual training plan. We're not going to worry about that. Most of what you're going to be worried about is on this calendar here. There are other things. You can create workouts. You can look at training plan library. Under summary here, I could copy a whole week from one week to the next. I don't really need to do that. I can kind of see what kind of things I want to show on my calendar: workout, nutrition, metrics, summary, weekly, different things that we're doing. Oh, there are other things I can add here, like metrics. So metrics here might include my weight, sleep hours, quality of sleep, all those kind of things. So those are some additional metrics I can add as well. Okay? And if you want me to add some extra metrics, you don't see them there, please ask. I might be able to do that. So this is our second video on Training Peaks. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a video that will help you if you're working off an iPad or an iPhone to upload your data. Now, one more thing I want to show is this was an okay week. This tells me exactly what was done in this week. And I see that I ran 24.9 miles out of 35. I didn't run those 9 miles there. That kind of cut down my mileage, but I get a good idea. This is an example of how a workout should not look. Now on this week, I see that whatever reason this person didn't do 2 miles, they only did 1.33 for their warm-up, but they did put the 1.33 in their time. That's good. They put how much they did on Ultimate Frisbee, but then I don't know if they did a cool down or not here because I don't have anything marked there. They could have put 0 miles on it. That would have showed up as yellow. I don't know what they did on Tuesday. I don't know how far they warmed up or for how long. I don't know what their tempo was like. I don't know that. 4.81 miles, great. They're supposed to run 5, close enough, it'll accept that. I also don't know things here. I don't know things here. Okay, so I'm lacking information. So I don't know if they ran the 26.6 miles they're supposed to. All this says is that they ran 14.1, which means if I go to create a workout for the next week, I don't know whether I should bump their mileage up or not. If I look back at this historically next year, I don't know what their average mileage was for last year, and so it's harder for me to bump up mileage, okay? All right. A couple other things I did want to go over, and this is going to require me to log out of this account, and it's going to require me to log in my own account because we're going to see what happens when you go ahead and have data that's loaded via a Garmin, okay, or another GPS watch, and that's going to be the final part of this, okay? So I'm going to go to my calendar. This is my account. I actually take all of my data and I log it through on my phone and I send it to Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect's an app on my phone that reads off the phone, reads off my watch through Bluetooth. And then from there, Garmin Connect connects to Training Peaks. The nice thing about fun stuff like this is that I can go through here and I can see various information for my run. So let's pull up Saturday's 8-mile run. No, we'll pull up Friday's 6-mile run. Okay? I will have all the information that's calculated right off my watch, from duration to distance to the average pace, the calories I project to burn based on my body weight, elevation gain, TSS, which is another, don't worry about that, and some of these other things, the elevation loss. So overall, I had a net decrease in mileage. I see my average pace. I see my maximum pace off of my GPS watch. I could put which shoes I want. I also get other information, like analyze here. I can see the route that I ran. I'll see this route that I ran, basically from where I live, out and back. I can have terrain shown on it. I can have streets shown on it, depending on what your GPS watch has. I have satellite video of it. That's awesome stuff. Okay, I can click that off if I don't want to see that. I really kind of did want to see that, so I probably shouldn't have done that. I can also see charts. This will give me, based on time or distance, based on, I can see my revolutions per minute. That's how many strides I take on one leg per minute. I can see the height of my run. I can see my average pace throughout that area. And that's all graphed information, okay? I can also do it based on time. Where was I in a run? This shows the times where I stopped my watch for various reasons, a lot of times for traffic. So I kind of can see why my pace and revolutions all changed. I was slowing down. Here I'm starting up from a slower pace, etc., etc. Heart rate by zones. If you have a heart rate monitor, it'll show heart rate information here. I see other metrics on my workout here. I see my total duration. I see elevation gain and loss, the grade percentage, my cadence, my minimum cadence, my average, my maximum. Again, that's based on 1 foot. That's how my watch does it. I can see the different laps. So I see I started out kind of in 8:07, then it dropped to 7:15, 7:16, 8:35, and 7:27, or 7:21, 7:49, and 1:09. That's just kind of various information here, depending on what the laps were, okay? There's other things I could look at, peak pace. I've got the peak pace for 2 seconds, 5 seconds, etc., etc. All that different stuff, okay? That just gives us more information here, all right? Other things I can look at, if I go back and pull up that same workout again, I can see, again, this will show me my terrain. If I had heart rate information, it would be there. This is some different stuff that's calculated based on your heart rate. This is paced by zone, so depending on what zones is, again, I don't have heart rate information, so it wouldn't totally collect that. I can also make these things public through Twitter, Facebook, link to a completed workout, and even email them if I need to. Probably don't need to do those things, okay? All right, so that would be how I would do that. That's one of the cool things about GPS watches. They give us a little bit more information. Again, I can see here, gosh, it took me 40 minutes to run 2.9 miles. Wow, that's really slow. But when I look at it, I see that there were a lot of times here where I was basically nearly just waiting for people to catch up. So that happened a few times. I look at by distance, by time. I see that I did some different slowdowns and stuff like that to help people with their cooldown, okay? All right. I'll click that off there. Okay. That is our information for today. I hope that helped more with doing Training Peaks. Again, I'm going to find some videos for how to actually set up your upload or your connection from either your Garmin or your Polar or whatever, Soleus or whatever GPS watch you have to go directly into Training Peaks. And then once that's up there, if you have planned workouts, it'll actually, for example, if you do a 5-mile run, this will become green. Okay? If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.